So, more practices that I do, and I have any credibility for it? No, because according to Gary, you need money to manifest. But then yet I'm like, what's the purpose of even doing that? So I'm kind of just like all fucked up in a lot of ways when it comes to this whole thing. But from what I know and what I've learned from the GG33 sources is that there's a hierarchy and accuracy in certain things, right? And numerology clearly comes out on top. This is from what's it called? Numerology Facts on the Q page. Numerology is on top. Eastern astrology comes second, and then third would be I think it's either Celtic or Vedic. Clearly, numerology supersedes everything. Lifespan, density, time, quantities of stuff you put in your body, and all that. Like everything's based off of numbers. You don't got to put a name on it, but if you can quantify it, that's just what it is. And it rules over everything: religion, astrology, and all that. Numbers are just everywhere. If you don't be stupid and just realize that. Second would be Eastern astrology, Chinese astrology, Vietnamese astrology, Oriental astrology, what have you. Xinjiang astrology. That's more based on the earth, right? And that's like psychology superseded, so-called from Mr. Grinberg. People actually look like they're animals. People, most of the time sound like they're animals. They act like they're animals, and they actually think like they're animals too. One I want to mention is the cat. You really got to be on top of your shit to give them a reading. They're always the ones who make it difficult when it gives readings, and they never miss. Like fucking rarely, they'll be like, "Oh, that's true," but a lot of times, "Oh, it's not true." And a lot of the time, it's the part about them being selfish. But that's still a consistent thing. Like you'll do things for a cynical reason. But yeah, so Eastern astrology definitely has its accuracies. Like snakes have their eyes more wide apart. Monkeys have longer arms. Tigers usually have like a muscular build. They stay young for a very long time. Rats are usually defined by their teeth. Oxes are usually more, built like wider, like a linebacker, even the women. From what I've seen, cats are just fat. I thought that would be the pig, but they're part of the same triangle, so that would make sense. But I've noticed there's a lot more fat cats than anything. But more or less, in my opinion, I think cat women are very beautiful. But yet again, it's like the goat. You don't really want to do that. Goats are very pretty. Same triangle kind of shit. So then 5 dragons would have. Well, dragons aren't the best looking. It's the most masculine looking one. So usually they have like more of a defined jawline, butt, nose, more like masculine features. Their voices are going to be a little bit more like what's the word? Not husky, like rusky, deeper, and the women will think like men too as well. What else we have? The snake. Snakes are very cool. They don't like to give a lot of information out. If a snake tells you a lot about themselves, you did something right to where they can trust you, but they're very smart. I think that's a good way to move it in life, to not say everything. 7, horses more have like elongated faces, skinnier legs. They're stubborn as fuck, so if you think they're actually listening to you, they're really not, so that's just kind of how it is. They're very rebellious, so just naturally they're not going to listen to shit that anybody else has to say. There's going to be no way, like kind of like a cross-eyed horse is how I see them. Then we have the goat. Goats are manipulative as shit. Even the men, the women, and the only way to manipulate is out of material goods, as in like flesh or just sweet talk them and manipulate them that way. But just don't fall for that shit. 9 is the monkey. Unfortunately, I don't think monkeys are the best looking. Even Kim Kardashian, she's a whore, but she more or less just offers just sexual favors in the voice. But like there's a workout I did in the military. It's called Monkey Fuckers. That kind of sums them up. And plus, they're the closest thing to humans. But they're very smart, very smart. And then roosters actually have their faces like shrunk down, I've noticed, and they have that nose, so they look like a bird too. They're aggressive, also one of the masculine signs like tiger and ox and dragon. They're very good at like monotonous, meticulous kind of work. Like from what I remember, they're really good at stock trading and stuff like that. They don't mind doing repetitive shit. Like if you look at the animal, it'll pick off little seeds when it eats. So that makes sense. 11 is the dog, fuck you. And then we have 12, that's going to be the pig. Pigs are just easy-go-lucky people, very flaky. They make terrible decisions. because they don't really see red flags in people at events. They just go and just do whatever. Very fun people to be around. They're loose-hearted, but it's kind of like somebody who's very sloppy, so sloppy but there's a lot of fun, you know. So they're very fun people, and rarely do I ever meet pigs with some kind of moral, you know. And I think that's too hard of a word. They just kind of don't know their boundaries and doing things, I guess. I don't know. But then now we have, what is it? Celtic astrology? Vedic astrology. So I'm gonna keep Celtic first, like close. Celtic is very cool. Like, fortunately for me, I'm around my tree. You can find out your tree online with a calculator. It kind of seems a little bit more sacred, more hippie-ish kind of thing. Makes you a tree hugger, literally. You know, you want to be around your tree, and then it's gonna like heal you in a way, along with crystals and stuff like that. Even like copper, like this right here, good for grounding. So it's like a long lost practice from the Druids or some sort like that. But Celtic astrology is very real. Personality type that I wasn't really taught from like mouth to ear or like man to man kind of situation. But you know, I think it's kind of cool. You know, so I can't really say the legitimacy of the personality types. But I would say mine is pretty accurate. I don't like it, but and then Vedic astrology, that shit is scary accurate. Some unfortunate things happen. Some combinations aren't really worth living. But then from shadow astrology, from the GG33 classes, it gives you more of an in-depth kind of idea as for what the Western sides are like. And kind of say here, you'll come across it because it's publicly announced on X Spaces, that you don't act like your sun sign all the time. And if you realize it, just like the word Freemason, they're not just concrete masons or wood masons, they're free. Keyword, right? Free masons. Now when it comes to your sun sign, you're gonna act like that when the sun is out. Okay? And then people will say like, oh, moon rising, well, no, not necessarily. No, it's actually gonna be your Saturn is how you act at night. So if you're like a easier example, if you're a Leo during the day, your sun sign is Leo and your Saturn is Taurus, during the day you're gonna more than likely like spend a bunch of money when you're having a good time. But then when it's nighttime, you'll become more like dictatorial. You'll save your money. You'll be a lot more cautious in how you spend it. You know, so daytime you're gonna spend it loosely. Then when it's nighttime, you'll be like, I don't know about that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Your Venus is your relationships. The worst is Aquarius. I believe one of the best are Capricorn and Cancer when it comes to loyalty, and that's that. So those are only the ones you would really even consider. It's just how people act during the day and night in their relationships. It's not really just like I try to tell people this when I tell about their their Eastern astrology side. You don't need to fuck them. All right, these can be good friends. These can be good consultants, good business partners. Like just it's your energy. You want to be around it, right? So when it comes to Venus, it's just how they overall act with other people. You know, like, and yes, it will play a role into relationships that are pertaining to romances and stuff as well too. But it's just how they act with other people is their Venus. So that's that. Mars is another one, but I'm not going to say I know enough to talk about that, but it does play a role in how people behave. I believe that's about power. But as for that, yeah. I don't even know how this video started. Oh yeah, about healing. Yeah, water, clean air, be by water. I guess shower. That's a good way of doing it because you're getting water on you. Debatably, probably not, because they push it in the tap water and your, like for example, your body absorbs chemicals inside a lotion and gets in your bloodstream. So imagine if you're getting the public tap water all over you, what's going into your bloodstream right then and there. Which is funny because my grandfather tried to make Epsom salt like holders. So when you take a shower, you get some of the minerals out of the salt, so it can go on your body. So yeah, water is a very important, underrated, delicate thing to watch. It's kind of like women in a way. Dangerous and delicate creatures. Very neat to be around, So yeah, thank you.